We have just arrived at the Valley of the Giants, which is a treetop walk just off the coastline. We've come inland a little bit, and the rains have come. It is torrential out there, and so we're just pausing for a minute to cook a little bit of lunch and hoping it passes. Otherwise, it's going to be a very wet and atmospheric walk in the tree canopy. All right, so what are you cooking us for lunch today, babe?
What are we making for lunch? We are making big mushrooms, because if you want to walk with the giants, you've got to eat like a giant.
These are giant mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And obviously one of the keys to anything yummy, especially vegetarian food, is acid. All right, if you're not dropping acid in your food, then you're missing out. Vegetables love it. All right, I'm going to cook this up on some low heat, really activate that garlic, okay? Then we are going to throw the
Mushrooms.
in. Very simple lunch, fast, not too many ingredients, what we like.
It's always very simple for me because I just take a seat over here and let him do the cooking. Yeah, it looks really good. Wow. Wow. I'm so excited. You are an artist.
Not this, no, I'm not an artist.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready. Rowan absolutely loves heights, and this thing, like you can see, straight through. And it's shaking quite a bit. Having fun?
Really shaking.
Really shaking. And because it's raining, it's quite slippery. That's beautiful. It's really lovely. And quite special in the rain, I think. Feeling good?
These people that hurry up, you know?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's getting higher.
Look at this, right with the trees. Walking with the giants.
Your reaction is great.
Oh, everything's moving.
It is. Everything's swaying in the wind.
Yeah, no. Looking to get high, we've got the place. Walk with the giants. Come over here, experience the true leaves. All right. Get in touch with your deepest fears. At least one of them. It's quite nice, actually. They are giants, gigantic trees. Thank you. This is helping me just talk through it. Giving a purpose other than falling. But people have moved on, so we can keep going.
Okay.
Which is good.
Let's move on.
Don't look down.
What's that? Don't look down.
Oh my lord.
I would say we are 75% of the way through. So you feeling good?
Yeah, very fast.
Yeah. It's a very short experience, but it's like it's impressive. I am impressed. I'm more impressed than I thought I would be, to be completely honest with you.
No.
Even my legs have been a little bit like jelly, and I enjoy that. I find that fun. I'm really enjoying the rain also. It's beautiful. Makes it feel like a very special forest atmosphere. Whoop, it just picked up. I feel like it really does give you a good appreciation for how impressive and tall and giant these trees are, you know? Like just being up in the canopy makes you appreciate it in a whole different light.
70 meters.
70 meters. These trees grow up to 70 meters, and we got to 40 meters. So
Next time, join us as we get as low as we can to the ground. Experience everything on the ground. Wow, caterpillars, snails, all of that. We are getting back down to the ground just so you guys can watch.
what you found there?
Oh,
Oh,
home.
new home.
Been looking, Sydney. We're here.
Looking to downsize. Perfect. Impressive. Very cool. That's livable. That's bigger than a Sydney apartment. That's awesome. was beautiful. Let's go to camp. I'm absolutely buggered now. That was so draining. It's just so draining to be driving long, windy country roads in torrential rain. So I'm very happy to be at camp now and looking forward to a nice hot shower because it's been a couple of days. Tonight we are staying in a little Hipcamp, which if you're not familiar with Hipcamp, it's kind of like Airbnb but for camping. And so if you have a little bit of extra space on your property, you can essentially lease it out on this platform as a camping ground. They vary quite a lot. Sometimes you need to be completely self-contained because you're just in somebody's paddock and they don't have any facilities set up. Or it can be a little bit like this one where there are toilets and hot showers included. It's just another option for somewhere to stay when you're on the road and you kind of want that peace of mind that you're somewhere secure and legal and you can sleep tight. And it's often a lot nicer than a caravan park. I mean, what isn't? And often also a lot cheaper. This one is just a little bit outside of Pemberton and it's in the countryside on a nice little hobby farm. So there's a cute bunch of cows that's just behind the van here. Good morning. It is a beautiful, brisk autumn day here in the southern region of Western Australia. And this morning we are out hunting some giants. There are 6 art sculptures between here in Mandurah and Perth that we are looking for, and they're meant to be incredible. I think we're close to the first one, and I'm excited. Let's go.
That is awesome. That is the single greatest sculpture I think I've ever seen outside.
Wow, that is incredible. Goodness me, look at that. This is just so cool. Wow, that is a giant. Part of the beauty of finding these giants is that they're also located on some really pretty sort of little natural spaces. This first giant here that we went to, you walk through this amazing peppermint grove and the leaves just, I mean, I wish that I could convey this to you. They're just so minty. It's like a mix of eucalypt and mint. It's gorgeous. When we arrived, we actually took a wrong turn and went out to this little jetty walk that's near the car park where there was this amazing land formation that I have never even heard of before. Do you remember what it was called? Thrombolites, was that right? Yeah. Thrombolites. And it was incredible, millions of years old. Millions, thousands?
2,000 years old.
Oh, Rowan can explain it better than me.
So these ones are 2,000 years old, but around 600 million years ago, their ancestors were the primary, I think, producers of oxygen for a lot of like the life forms on Earth.
Yeah,
which is pretty wild.
Incredible. And they were beautiful formations.
These little stumps in the ground.
Yeah. And interestingly, these parts of Western Australia are actually the only areas in which you can still see these formations.
Yeah, and a few other places in the world, but yes, they've died out massively.
My fact checker over here. I appreciate it. I do.
We're both just getting us off a single signpost that we read, so we could be completely wrong.
That's true. It's just this little bit of information that we read at the trailhead, but fascinating nonetheless. You ready for our next giant, Rowan?
So ready.
So ready.
Are they giant sculptures or small sculptures of giants?
Last giant for the day. Let's go. those sculptures were very interesting, very beautiful and so unique. All of the sculptures were completed by the same artist, Thomas Dambo, and they are allegedly going to be out on exhibition, I suppose, open air exhibition until 2026, but I would not be surprised if they keep them up for longer than that because they are spectacular. It was quite busy out there today. There were a lot of families going and checking out the Giants. It's a very sort of family-friendly activity, and also it is a public holiday today, so as expected, very busy. We have now just arrived at our camp for this evening, and I'm super excited to show you guys this one because it is amazing. That's right, we are at a petrol station. As I am sure most people are aware, not every night when you're on the road looks glamorous. You're not going to be surrounded by beauty, and tonight for us is one of those nights. To be fair, it's really beautiful here in golden hour. Wow, look at that. They have a wild bean.
This could be my favourite place we've stayed so far. It's got everything.
In defiance of the big fast food corporations of McDonald's and Red Rooster, as we park and sleep here for free in their car park tonight, I am making some homemade stovetop chips. I made them a couple of weeks ago and they were excellent. Yes, it might take at least an hour to put them together, but I feel a lot better about it than going and getting those guys. Alright, so I have had these on the boil for a little while now, and I don't want to overdo it because we do fry them up in oil, but I find that just giving it a little bit of a parboil helps with the texture and you don't end up with overcooked, burnt outsides and raw potato on the inside. But I think I'll give it a few more minutes, it's still a bit hard. So I've got a very generous amount of olive oil that I'm just gonna fry up the potato in now. Because these chips take so long, it is now approaching dinner time, and so I have complicated things for myself and now need to make something for dinner with a side of chips. And what I've decided to go for are some tofu steaks with a bit of veg and obviously the chips. She might not be the most beautiful, but I reckon this is going to be delicious. The next day we arrived in the gorgeous suburb of Fremantle. It's known for its surprisingly grand architecture and central markets. You love it here. Freo was one of those suburbs in which I arrived at and thought, yeah, I could live here. We were also excited to finally be arriving in the greater Perth area so that we could find ourselves some decent coffee and vegan food. Just decided to have lunch in a beautiful vegan restaurant cafe that's just down the road there, and I asked to use their bathrooms. It's one of those like you need to get a key to go to the bathroom because it's like in a shared building facility, and there's a beautiful shower here. I haven't had a shower in 2 days, so it feels really tempting to use this, but I've already ordered my lunch, so I've got to go back to the restaurant. So tempting. Look at that, that is deluxe. These ones? After getting our fill at the cafes in town, we stocked up at the local farmers market to fuel what would turn out to be a very quiet couple of weeks in Perth. This was accompanied by a lapse in filming that can be explained by a fun little hit to my immune system. Sorry I won't be able to show you much more of Perth. I didn't end up seeing much of it myself. Because I've lost my voice.
All right, everybody, we are pretty close to the centre of Perth at the moment, and we're finally seeing the sixth and final giant. 11 days after we saw all the others. This one's named Billy Bob. It has some funky little teeth. Yeah, and we're finally putting closure to it.
That's it. We finally complete the mission of the giants. Took us some time, but it's nice to have closure.